talk to you for a few minutes. I haven't been on much as of late due to some other things that have come up. These are things that are not really within my control, so if I talk about it, I guess it sort of falls on the line of it's gonna happen regardless of what I say. So, a couple of years ago, I decided to get back into a lot of different themes and things that I'm into. One of which is anime. Now, I am not one of those anime nerds that is into, like, I'm not really into Naruto, I'm not into DBZ, although I have tons of friends who are, and they like to rub it in my face every day that I'm not into the right shows or the correct nomenclature of shows that is considered normal. Now, the animes I'm into, literally, don't quote me on it, because some of the stuff I'm into, is not particularly popular. I'm not into, let's see, I'm really not into stuff like, some of the stuff that people get into. I sat through one year having to listen to a guy go on and on and on about how I don't understand nuances of Naruto. And I sat through that kind of like with a dumbed silence that probably permeated an entire room, where a friend of mine's like, "Are you okay?" I think I'm gonna be sick. And someone's like, "Ooh, I think you said the wrong thing." And the guy, of course, the guy in the whole group was like, "Oh no, she just doesn't understand. It's a show for real nerds." And I'm like, whatever, dude. I am not into this stuff. Anime is not for or against anyone. Although I will mention there are times I get very frustrated with anime nerds who do not seem to understand that not everybody likes the same shows. Like, I literally do not get how you can like a show and then get mad when a girl says, "Oh, I don't like that." I'm in a group called Baddies, which is a group of anime nerds who are female, and they are like the nicest, most pleasant people I've ever met. And the thing is, majority of the girls in the group are black. And, we got into a discussion one day, and it was a very, interesting it was a very bad discussion about why it is you can go to a group, go onto an online thing, and you get guys, I mean it, you will get guys who believe the only reason girls like anime is for the yaoi. I hate to be the breaker of bad news. No. That is not the reason a girl is into anime. Nor is it the reason why you grow obsessive over the fact the girl is into it, and it means, woohoo, I can ask her out! I'm not lying, that actually happened to me. I was into an anime series, and a guy thought, "Oh, if she's into that, then she'll be into me. I will ask her out." Unfortunately, that ended in the most embarrassing situation I had ever seen. And I felt bad for this poor guy because, honestly, I didn't really want to hurt his feelings. And honestly, I do think that people who overthink this kind of irritate the fuck out of me for no readily reason, because they don't know or they don't care that no, a girl does not need to like the same shows, nor does a girl need to like watching the same damn thing. Honestly, my husband and I are two very different people. He likes certain types of anime, I like certain types of anime. Does that mean we're bad for each other? Nope. It just means we're in two different worlds when it comes to shows. Do I like, I don't like it when he tries to watch some of the shows I watch because I don't think he would appreciate it as I would. I think he should like what he likes and not feel like he has to entertain me or entertain the idea that he is part of it. What do you mean? Oh, right. What really gets guys in some anime groups really offended when girls they say that they're looking for the girl that's into the same shows. They're not. They're not looking for that. They're looking for somebody that quite frankly, sometimes this happens, sometimes it doesn't. I always end up with that one guy who's not looking for a girlfriend, he's looking for a mommy replacement. He is looking for a girlfriend. He's looking for that one girl that likes him, and he's really depressed that the girl that he likes doesn't like the same things as he does, and he gets in your face about it nearly constantly, and you're like, I'm sorry, dude, it's just not in the cards. Please stop being angry. But then you get like people like the one I dealt with, who was my stalker for a couple of years, and he got excessively needy and cling. I mean, literally, I call him Clingy McCling, because he would not let up with the fact that I wasn't interested in him. He told a bunch of girls, he told a bunch of people that he liked me, and that one day it would be destiny. And I said, what does that mean? And then someone explained to me that he literally told a bunch of girls and a bunch of guys, I was his girlfriend. And that in itself was kind of gross. Because, yeah, that was really awkward. And I mean that in the most, almost like, you want to go to an anime convention and then you're like, I really don't feel comfortable with this person being here. And unfortunately, that's what happened. The individual himself, I'm not going to name names, is still going to the conventions and is still super depressed that I had no interest in him. And when he realized I wasn't interested, he began to berate me online for no damnable reason other than the fact that I was not his girlfriend and I had no regular interest in him. And he pretty much blocked out the fact that he stalked me and he harassed me, and he turned around and said he was the victim and I was the one that orchestrated the whole thing. The problem was he did not understand that what he was doing was an intimidation tactic. A little spinach. What he did is just that. It put me in such a position in the Colorado anime community that I couldn't say, hey, look, I'm being harassed, and someone would turn around and say, oh, you're just making that up. That's not really what's happening here. And I'm going, but it is happening, and you're acting like it is not happening. And yet, again, that's the problem with the fandom, is they would rather side with the person who has the mental illness, with the issue, and not get the mental illness looked at. I remember telling my mom, it's like going to see a failing your psychic eval for going to to the military, because some people just don't want to do that. And after that whole incident, I stopped attending conventions because I felt like, okay, nobody's going to listen to me. And I was right. Nobody did. And it isn't as if I didn't say, hey, this is wrong. I said, hey, I really don't feel comfortable hanging out with this said person. Can you please tell them to leave me alone? And of course, you get people like what I dealt with this individual, and you get the whole, oh, you're just making it up. That's not how it happened. Stop lying. And you just get kind of fed up with it, and then you're telling people in the fan base that you don't want to go to conventions because you don't want to get stalked anymore. And it gets sort of like you're being kind of set up to deal with the drama and then having drama thrown at you. I once told a guy, you're a really nice person, but I can't handle your personality. But unfortunately, the personality in the fan base has always been the whole, oh, well, he's always been that way, you should be more accepting of his behavior because he's an anime nerd like you should be more accepting. Unfortunately, that mentality has existed in the fandom since the beginning of time. By the way, that behavior is certainly not okay anymore by any stretch of the imagination. If you are not aware that there are people in the fan base that are completely not gonna help you because they believe that it's your fault if a girl gets what was the term, harassed and harangued. Usually they blame the victim and not the perpetrator. That kind of really exasperate it pretty much causes an entire fan base issue that I actually had to watch unfurl itself at a convention one year that I had to attend, and I was being told that whatever I said was the reason why this individual was acting out. Unfortunately, that individual also assaulted somebody. Not a sexual, not a SA. No, not SA. No. This individual physically attacked somebody, and then he turned around and he said it wasn't his fault. But when he got told that it was his fault, he basically backtracked everything he said and went on this whole, well, I'm the victim. I'm special needs. You can't touch me like that. And unfortunately, when it came to his special needs or his special behavior, he started acting as if the people that were telling him he needed to stop being a bad individual called it you don't understand me, I'm special, I have needs, the girl I like doesn't like me, I feel horrible, I'm not. And I mean, great, I just got rid of the Sun Lemons. Damn it. So, yeah, I got told by a grown man that I needed to stop being a good person and start putting up with the behavior of a bunch of nerds who are not behaving properly. Problem with anime fandom is that you cannot tell somebody that you don't like someone. I told a guy I didn't like him. Oh, that's too bad. He likes you. Okay. I don't like being followed. Well, that's too bad. You're gonna have to tolerate that. I mean, I turned around and I said, I told the guy I didn't like him, and I got told that I was being, I was being an ableist by not being his friend. When he came off as totally creepy, totally self-sustainingly, childish, refusing to listen, did not validate a personal space, because to him, personal space meant I was being unreasonable. FYI, the individual in question did not like being told that he was being he didn't like being told that he was violating my personal space, because to him, personal space violated his rights more than mine. FYI, the individual in question was so freaking needy for attention that he did not want the girl he liked actually having personal space, because he wanted to claim her as a girlfriend, not as a friend. Does that sound right to you? No, it doesn't. It sounds kind of creepier, like a creeper, like somebody who's a creepy person who wants to have attention. But when he gets told that the girl he likes does not see him in the same relationship as he does, it turns into that whole, well, that's not fair. And I mean that in the most inoperative time, that it is not fair to a girl that she has to spend her time dealing with a child. Mentally, physically, and emotionally. To not be fooled by a group of people who are in the same hobby of you, telling you have to like it. You have to like this because it's part of the fan base. Hello! Oh goody, people. Alright. Like I said, while I'm here today, I am going to talk about other things as well. To deal with the whole Chris Chan thing. Okay. To those who are interested or part of that, Chris Chan, evidently, from what I heard, is just, it's a can of worms, I will mention. I do not like dealing with a can of worms, especially when he is, acting like a lunatic. I am not sure why anyone in a known fan base would ever treat this person like a like he is a freaking. What he did was wrong. How he got set up was entirely weird. It should have been called out. A social worker should have been involved a long time ago with his family, and I am not going to use the pronoun she, even though, according to many of Christian's friends, he is transgender. The truth is, the reason he is transgender is debatable and wrong on so many levels. Please do not take me as transphobic when a ton of my friends are trans and they did not do what he did. This is just me saying, hey, there is a limit to what you can do to your body and how you treat people. looking for a girlfriend is not one of them. So, yeah, I am not going to be mentioning a lot about the whole concept. I am going to actually go into another set of news that I have been putting off and putting off and putting off because, honestly, it's like beating a dead horse. And if the Wicked Witch of the West, Shannon, is watching, yes, that is your new nickname. Have fun with that. You stalked a person that should have been your friend, and you are not a good person. Get a fucking life. Get a fucking journal. Make journals. Do not treat your dad to your husband. No, Tipster does not owe him an apology for your apparent disrespect. You disrespected personal space. You put a mother at risk. You stressed her out. That is not okay. I am to be a future mother myself. And personally, I would be one of those people who would gladly have Emily over as a friend. FYI. Emily is watching this. Yes, my husband and I would have gladly accepted you. Because guess what? We have friends who are former addicts. Your life does not revolve around just that aspect of your life. You have a huge amount of living to do. Like myself, who is also trying to get pregnant, trying to get a life, and become a mother. I don't want another incident with my, because I am one of those people who believes family is important. But I also do not believe that Shannon had any right to what she did. I am not going to judge you for who you were in your past. You know what? I did some pretty screwed up and fucked up things in my past too. And I honestly don't believe that you should have to. You said some pretty crappy things in your past. You know what? I did too. I was a crappy individual too. I am not that person anymore. Thank goodness. But again, people change for the better. They get educated and they learn that some of the things they've said in the past are not okay. And that goes for what happened to you. Also, being a mother changes you. It changes your whole outlook. You want to be that influence to your mother. As a mother, you want your children to be happy. And you want to be a good parent. So, to Christian fans, same thing. People grow, people change. But unfortunately, what stays the same are the assholes who do not change. Shannon did not change. She did not change for the better, she changed for the worse. And I honestly do not approve of what she did, nor do I want to, even though I was a former fan of Shannon's. Her behavior just proved to me that I do not need her as a influence. I can draw, I can do a lot of things, but I do not have an iPhone in my body when it comes to people who bully others just because it's funny. I've been stalked, okay? The person I talked about before who believed because I was into anime that I was somehow supposed to be his GFF and girlfriend. It wrecked a lot of my self-esteem. And I honestly do not approve of that because I miss the fact that I love my friends and I love being a nerd. But I honestly do not miss being treated like I was supposed to be that guy's GFF. By the way, the term GFF means girlfriend forever, which is what he termed me as his GFF, his girlfriend forever, which, by the way, is not entirely true. People who are learning disabled tend to adopt a certain type of speaking and tact and classist behavior that I find exceedingly gross, and that is the behavior that you are supposed to talk like you have a speech impediment. So, yes. And I do not miss being a fan of Shannon's because I honestly would rather be a fan of something else. I honestly have no clue how I'm going to talk about this at the moment because this is just me shooting through news stuff that I found. I don't really have anything readily available for my fandom stuff at the moment because I honestly don't. People also forget that I attended a university, and yes, I am educated, but not educated in the way you think I am. I am honestly educated in, well, being me. So, FYI, if you want to know anything about what happened dealing with what happened with Emily Arnful, I recommend you actually follow her videos, and you will get a good idea of what happened. I do not approve of any of these situations, considering that, one, being a mother at risk and being a future mommy, I really don't want to deal with the concept of somebody like Shannon being around anyone. Really, I am more concerned if that girl gets pregnant, how Shannon's going to behave with the child. Because I honestly feel very nervous about the concept that this person could become a parent herself, and that behavior that Shannon exhibits, where she is very full of herself, can pull a very nasty concept on her children. Honestly, I went through a lot of bad situations growing up where this kind of thing was a thing, and yes, I ended up with parents who probably should not have been parents to begin with. FYI, don't ever say this about one of my friend's mothers. She literally did live through her kids, and she did literally try to force her children to be mini versions of herself. And I feel horrified that I was even in that friend with that girl because she didn't get a choice whether to be my friend or not. She was just forced. And I honestly did not understand, nor will I ever understand, why her parents insisted that just because she has a learning disability that I have to be that girl's friend. Just so you know, just because somebody is disabled or learning disabled does not necessarily mean they have to be that way. Because everybody has different interests, tastes, and friendship circles. Also, right now, my goal is to get my archer up to 60, so I can actually do the one world, one life scenario. I'm thinking that, yes, being an archer might be a little bit better than being a mage of some sort. Even though one of my friends thinks I really should think about doing a red mage on that. So yeah, so far I guess my venting is over on that one situation with a certain individual. I will mention to any fans coming on here, if you are ever thinking you want to talk to me, please do. Because guess what? I will talk to you. I will come say hello and be friendly. People are awesome when you get people who want to be your friend. I do not believe in hurting anyone. I did not need that. Thank you very much. But oh well. Anywho, what I really also wanted to talk about today is, I had a blast from my past. And if Alex is seeing this, hello. I'm hoping you're doing a lot better, wherever you are. I know that in the past we had our differences, and I hope that you are still, trying to become a positive person and be a positive light in your life, because honestly, you can't live the rest of your life hiding out somewhere. I'm just mentioning that now. People who've known me for a while, I try to be very positive, about things nowadays. Yes, I do have the announcement that I am trying to become a mom. Yes, it is true. Yes, I do want to be a parent. I do want to have kids. It is not as easy as you think, but many people I've met in the last couple of years have found out that, yeah, I am who I am. At the moment, there are some medical situations that are a little beyond my control, which, a bunch of my friends have brought up. Finger shrimp and table salt. I can actually make table salt. But, I will mention that my past does not define me. That is one of the biggest things I've said to people, is the past does not define me of who I am. Yes, in my past I was a terrible person at times. I had a really good friend who actually hates my guts at this moment because I decided not to be their friend anymore. But also for the fact that she actually was a negative person to begin with. Her name, well, I will call her D. And her biggest issue, and I will mention this to everybody, she really wasn't a very nice person. And one of the biggest reasons she wasn't very nice is the way she would treat her friends. She expected her friends to change for her benefit, not for theirs. She actually wanted me to declaw a 7-plus-year-old cat, Hazel, who is no longer with us. She has passed on. And my cat did not deserve that. Hazel was a very sweet animal. I loved her, and I still love her. Even though she is no longer with us, I miss her very much. But back in my past, the reason I stopped being her friend had a lot to do with the fact that she treated others really poorly, and I didn't like how she treated people. And harken to the fact that I was friends with a individual by the name of Fox, who kind of picked up on it too. I am no longer friends with Fox, but I am thankful for Fox's behavior on trying to keep me from being bullied by him, by her, and her behavior was unacceptable because I felt it was just, one, not friendly, nor was it very supportive to treat people like that. I told many people in my fandoms that I do not want to deal with her. I left the J-Rock fandom, which sadly I am no longer part of. I'm really sad to say. I do like Japanese rock music. I do love Vamps, JPN. I love Oblivion Dust, Shazna, Um, Shazna's pretty old school. Deja Vu, all those bands I loved because those were part of what I grew up with. I discovered Deja Vu, when the years of Napster, I'm showing my goddamn age. Yeah. Okay. Who keeps messaging me? Yes. So, I was gonna mention, growing up, I guess, the whole time, people think that because you are a fan of anime, you are supposed to like everything, even stuff you hate. FYI, I was friends with a lot of different people in the fan base of anime nerds, and I honestly will mention I absolutely hated hanging out with people, especially people like my ex-friend D, because D actually made writing my novels so much harder to do because she did not like me writing anything off of Wattpad. Unless I was writing on Wattpad, I shouldn't be writing at all. That was her philosophy, and it bugged the hell out of me because I did not like working with Wattpad. I was used to working with a document program like I liked using Word. I liked using any free motion Word program. I was not into a lot of the crazy crap. A lot of people thought I was. And then, quite frankly, after a couple of years, I contacted a friend of mine, and truth be told, I left her friendship because 1, it was toxic. 2, it was toxic. 3, it was toxic. Toxic friendships exist only because they can. If you are a fan of something and you do not like a toxic fan friendship, you do not have to be part of that friendship. And FYI, the person in question, yes, she was very toxic. She was very toxic, and my parents freely actually told me that it happens. It happens a lot. And it's not your fault. My mother literally had to tell me and bang me in the head sometimes, telling me none of this is ever your fault. It's not your problem, it's their problem. And honestly, I'm starting to see her point in this. I literally told my mother that I actually started to see where she was coming from. Because people in many groups, especially in anime groups, or groups where friendship is not necessarily considered important, that you do not freaking matter. In the fan base, you do not matter. What matters is the people you are friends with. If you are friends with people who are not going to, if you are friends with people who are not going to support you, who are going to spend their time telling you you are in the wrong, guess what? You don't need to be their friend anymore. It took me 20 some odd years to get over that. And my friends don't fucking do that. Oh, I should really put a commission out for her. Because I really want a new picture of my Pallas. So, anywho, for those of you who do not know anything about what I like to do with my time, back when I was in college, I became friends with a bunch of people who I honestly don't think I should have been friends with. Because honestly, some of them, I think they need to rethink their friendship circles. Because I went to college and I kind of outgrew some of their behavior, but unfortunately, when your friendship is with a person who spends her whole time telling you how much of a great person she is, and all she has to show for it is the fact that she just doesn't really think you are a person worthy of her time, it drives you nuts. So, anywho, I began to get more friends in the anime circle that were not into a lot of the same stuff as D was. And D tend to put a lot of the stuff that I was into kind of down. One of the biggest was she insulted David Bowie, which, FYI, if she was in any fan base group, yeah, she just done gone and picked off the wrong people. Because the people I hung with who were part of the fan base would have yelled at her, i.e. would have made a huge growl in her general direction. Because may I mention something that is very, very important? Because oh boy, she pissed off the wrong people. My friends in the group I am in, who are J-Rockers, absolutely will never speak ill of David. David Bowie is the king of was the king of glam rock, and is pretty much the reason why some of Visual K is the way it is. Where they have the visual look of, say, a person like Ziggy Stardust. That is definitely a thing, and I do not pretend not to know that. Because, the girl gone and pissed people off. I'm not gonna say, hey, don't piss somebody off who knows a lot about J-Rock. Because, yeah, you just plumb and did it. I'm not gonna be mean about it, but I am going to make a comment. Because, yeah, you just don't do that. Especially when someone like myself, who has been around J-Rock to the point where my friend Waru would probably beam me in the head for being so dumb. FYI, yes. I believe Waru would beam me in the head for saying that. But if you try and tell me that what I do, you're gonna find that many of my friends in the furry fandom, or even in friends, because, she also chased me out of my own group called, Harajuku Furs, and which was a furry, Harajuku fashionista thing that I was trying to more market toward rarity from MLP than anything else. And I really felt bad that I did that, but I also feel bad that, what was I looking for? Oh yeah, Ash. Because finding Ash tuna is very hard. If you've ever watched me do this stuff, I usually am very much into making these look as visually appealing as possible for a ton of things. Alright. FYI, I'm trying to actually level up my culinarian because it's my lowest on my skills. Next one I'm going to be working on is also my alchemist, because it's also pretty dang low on there, on the work tier on here. Cottage cheese. Huh. No, I should have made some cottage cheese by now. I know I missed something. Cider vinegar. Fairy apple and mineral water. Okay. I know I have some fairy apples. Oh, those are not the right kind of apples! Dang it, I have to go hunting for fairy apples now? I know I have fairy apples somewhere. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to go fairy apple hunting. I hate going fairy apple hunting because they're the hardest ones to find. And that's in East Shroud. Okay. So, other things I'd like to talk about, right now, and it's certain things that I've been trying to stay out of in my own group of friends, is, if you've ever met, I am friends with certain people, and some of them, I'm just gonna mention, do not have, I'm not sure how I am going to describe what these people do, because some of their behavior as of late for me has always been very, I don't know. They just don't listen very well, and when they get told they've done something stupid, their answer is to make it even more stupid. I don't know how else to describe a person who spends their whole time on an anime forum expecting anything to change when that fandom does not even want to learn basic common sense. FYI, no, it is not okay to tell a girl it's her fault when a boy does shit to her. That is not right. Oh, and may I mention that the person in question is a freaking jerk? I am not sure how I can ever respond when somebody in my friendship circle is a fucking douchebag. FYI, yes, I'm talking about a former friend who spent his entire convention money, which should have gone to bills, on They say this is a tree that actually has what I'm looking for. You're working on your culinary and you run out of space. And yes, that someone has a froggy on their head, I think. Or is that a kitty? Welcome to my failures for the day.
Rushed in too fast, kiddo. Don't rush these things. I mean, honestly, I honestly do not understand why you have to rush an entire battle. Some of the music in this game. I swear, I absolutely love being able to play a game where I could actually enjoy the music. I know people are not going to... If you notice I'm accidentally hitting the key to summon my Chocobo, that is out of habit. I don't mean to do that. Because I'm actually doing this one. You see, you do not need to run ahead of everything. I really don't like people who do that, because it actually does a lot more damage to their team play than it does anything else. So, yeah. The other thing I'd like to talk about for the next video is, while I'm, yes, getting ready to actually take care of my life and have kids, will this mean I will not be playing video games? Absolutely not. I found out one of my friends while she was pregnant did play video games, because it was a way of comforting herself and making her feel better. That means she couldn't actually do a lot of stuff because it was a high risk pregnancy anyway. So can you imagine me having a high risk pregnancy? Probably yes. I don't know how I'm going to be as a mom because I don't know if that would make sense yet. Other than the fact that, there was a time I didn't want kids because I was living with a stereotype over my head, which was brought about by something quite dangerous. If you've ever, been in a situation where you've ever been in special needs or, in a learning disabled environment, this is absolutely one of the hardest, heartbreaking things you don't realize is in the learning disabilities spectrum. Somebody told me learning disabled cannot have children. I was in fact told that being LD, I couldn't be a mother. I would make a terrible mother. That CPS will take your child away if they find out you're learning disabled. I later found out that that actually cannot be possibly true now with the way some of learning disabled parenting has changed.
instead of being treated as if they're going to do everything wrong, many of the parents who were not disabled have been doing more harm than good to their own child. So, quite frankly, an LD can be a mom. A disabled person can be a parent. But a parent of a child with disabilities turns out to be a lot more of a commonality than a disability. I remember being told, hey look, I'm not entirely sure why I'm being told I can't do this, when a few months ago one of my friends who has ADHD has a perfectly normal little child who is now getting straight A's that go do stuff perfectly fine. That is perfectly normal. I'm like, okay, so where is this a definition of you cannot be a mom coming from for the LD? Well, back when I was a teenager, I was told LDs do not do this, you can't do that, you're special needs because you think like everybody else, and being learning disabled makes you different. That is wrong. You can't think like that. You have to be normal. Having kids is for normal people. You're not normal. You're not part of the thing. I mean, I sat there for 20 minutes trying to decide whether or not I should be angry or annoyed that I can't use my disabilities for myself. I can't live my life normally because, oh look, I'm not normal. FYI, a person with a learning disability can do just about anything a normal child can do. Aside from the fact that many people are not normal. I don't know where people get the concept that being normal is a good thing. Because I've met some pretty normal people and they are pretty damn sucky. They have mental illness. They have more issues than I do. And they are horrifying sometimes. I mean, let's take me for instance. She does not have a learning disability. And yet, she thinks it's perfectly fine to put her lifestyle, her veganism, and her lactose intolerance on others and force us to change our diets to suit hers. I mean, I'm sorry, Dee, but that's not how... I have friends who are lactose intolerant and they don't act like you. Why do I need to change? Why do I need to be different? Why do I need to be a person that doesn't like have to learn to be... Why do I have to be the different person? That's what one of my biggest arguments is. Why do I have to be the one to say, hey, I don't want that? I want it to be, the way I see it is, well, I do express that I would love to homeschool my child. Because I don't believe my daughter or son should have to go to public school if they're disabled, because I want them to actually have more of a one-on-one with the teacher rather than be in a classroom with 30, 40 kids with various degrees of issues and then being kind of treated like they're the burden in the room. That's my biggest issue with special needs, with special ed is I felt like I was a burden in my classroom. I felt like I didn't belong there because the teachers that I had did not want me. They didn't want to deal with a kid with special needs. They didn't want to deal with a kid with learning disabilities. The only teacher I had that actually physically wanted me to be in the classroom enjoying my time was my 6th grade teacher, Miss Flores, and honestly, Miss Juarez was a teacher who kind of went this way about it. Oh, you can read at this level. Okay. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna challenge you. We're gonna challenge you. So, she put me on a program where I could read whatever the hell I wanted. I was in a classroom where I didn't feel like I was supposed to be stuck learning. I was not a disabled child. I was a free learning child. My teacher called it oh god, what did he call it? He called it something else. It is called Indigo learning. Indigo, that's what it is. Okay, I got it now. I remember. I am what they call an indigo child. I could not tell a teacher anything about my life because I really felt embarrassed because I was given the definition of an indigo child. I learned at a different pace, but I was still considered relatively an average kid. I could read at a level higher than normal, even though I got told by one teacher, it's great that you can read at this level, but please slow down. I asked why, and the teacher told me because, he couldn't keep up with me surpassing a student without a disability. I couldn't quite grasp that part until I sat down and realized what they were talking about was the fact that I was reading Watership Down when I should have been reading Babysitter's Club or some silly girly book that I didn't quite grasp. The only one thing I did like was Encyclopedia Brown. And that was about it when I was a kid when it came to books I enjoyed, because I learned at a very hard rate. I wasn't getting challenged. Oh my god. Nobody really gets it when you don't get challenged in your school to read. And my mother and father were avid readers. If you ever catch me on a good day, I would probably recommend 90 books, about 9 to 15 books to people, because I loved to read. And oh my god, you will not believe how many people in this world did not like to read. My ex was one of them. One of my ex-friends was one of them. Dee hated to read and got really offended when she saw a bookshelf in my house full of books that I was reading. When we got our house set up, when we had our bedbug incident, a lot of my books got taken away and put in boxes or tubs to kill off the bedbugs. And they spent 9 months with my fiance's father. So when Lee's father brought my books back, he brought us no. But yeah, my dad, literally, he hated it when I would talk about books, because he thought, oh my god, you're so boring. And there she was reading Divergent and Twilight or something, and expecting me to absolutely, totally love her book selection. She didn't like Interview with a Vampire. I totally love the Interview with a Vampire. I totally like anime and sci-fi on that level. I don't like vampire anime, per se, because of the fact that I am completely a Louis and thus Fox fan girl. And yes, I was in love with Louis and with that, okay? I'm sorry, Louis is my little boy, and I'm not. And now that I saw the new Louis, I'm like totally smitten, because holy shit, he's cute! Yes, I love the actor who they chose to play Louis in the new Interview with the Vampire series now that I've actually got to see his costume! Oh god, Diablos! I'm totally killing you! So, yeah. I literally, with Dee, I could not talk about books. She did not like me talking about any of the novels. It really bugged me for years, because here I was, a fan of Interview with a Vampire, and I couldn't talk about it? What kind of jerk are you, Dee? Oh my god! And it really resonated with me, because here I am, a fangirl, and I couldn't be allowed to be a fangirl. I literally felt like, oh my god, I couldn't be a fan of Interview with a Vampire, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't say, hey, I love this series, because Dee would go constantly on my ass and tell me, oh, you can't be a fan of that. That's not cool enough. Oh, screw you. Screw you, girl. I could be a fan of anything I damn well want. I'm 42, I'm 41, I'm going to be a mama, and I don't give a fuck what you don't like and don't like. I watched Interview with a Vampire before you were fucking born. Excuse the language. But yeah, I was a huge fan. And to this day, people who go around telling me, even when I was a kid, what I could and could not like, did not get to know me any better, because back when I was a teenager, I literally did not give a rat's ass, because half the time I just looked at people in my class, in my high school, like they were completely alien to me. I mean, honestly, I did not know that not liking anime was a thing. But I didn't like Naruto. I didn't like DBZ. I didn't like Attack on Titan. I loved SAO, and I liked Demon Slayer, but I wasn't a fan like they were. I wasn't gonna go out of my way to cosplay. Well, I might cosplay my favorite character from that series, but that's neither here nor there. I have something somewhere. Herring balls, I'll deal with that later. That sounds totally wrong, but oh well. If you get my jokes, I'm really sorry. Sometimes I am really a really bad person when it comes to joking, because sometimes I get the joke and sometimes I really don't. And at times, like when I was like a kid, people would play jokes on me and some of those jokes were not funny. FYI, just because I'm learning disabled does not make it funny to make fun of me. Thank you. The PSA is over. But no, I had people who used to come to my school who were like the most obnoxious of people at my school. Lamb-corn zucchini. Where the frick is that? But when I was a kid, there was perfectly legitimate reasons I did not like going and hanging out with people. I'm not lying on that one. I hated going to like parties and stuff. I mean, if you ever took me to a party, I probably was one of those few people that you probably would find at the back of the room going, why am I even here? Can I go home yet? This is stupid. I don't want to be here. Let me go. I don't like this. But of course, people would still take me to fucking parties. I hated parties. I mean, it's not like I really wanted to actually hang out with some people, because honestly, some people I hung with, I think should not have been allowed out of a fucking mental institution. There was this one kid I used to hang with, and I kid you not, he used to obsess over the stupidest things. Like, I literally had to yell, "Dude, not funny anymore." Because he literally thought it was fucking cute or cool to follow a girl around and say, "Ooh, I'm into this." I'm like, dude, that is beyond creepy. I mean, I really wish I was kidding, but I had this kid in my class who I literally thought was batshit insane. I mean, you would go to, like, it wasn't even safe to go to the bathroom around him. When I had to go to the bathroom, I literally had to tell somebody to actually be behind the door and not actually come out. Like, knock on the door to say, "Hey, he's here." I'm like, "Oh, fuck. Go away, dude." I literally wanted to cry when I had to deal with him. And the worst part was, he was this kid who obsessed over every aspect of things I really had no interest in. His own... I mean, I don't know where he got it through his head that it was okay to hit on a girl who obviously found him rather creepy, but he didn't seem to understand that it was not okay to follow me around an entire convention. But again, you have to understand, I went to a convention where people actually, I came from a group where it was perfectly fine to treat people with disabilities like we were supposed to be friends, and we didn't get along. I could not tell you how many times I told a guy I literally met that I didn't like him because I was supposed to like him. And I honestly wanted to fucking die every time I saw him. He pissed me off so much sometimes. And then, of course, people are like, "Oh, he's just special. You need to be a little more tolerant." It's like, dude, he followed me to the bathroom. I'm not okay with that. Okay? I don't understand where there is this clarity of anime nerds where this behavior is okay. I don't get it. I wish someone would explain to me. Why is this okay? It's not okay. I wish I understood why people think it's perfectly fine to tell a girl in an anime group that this is fine, this is okay, you can totally get stalked, and people are okay with it. I don't understand. I really don't. I do not understand that whole concept of it's okay, he has special needs. You do realize what he's doing is illegal. Do you not understand the ramifications of his behavior could actually be dangerous to another human being? Then, of course, you get these adults. Then you get the adults, who are just as bad. I shit you not, there is a guy in my anime group named, who we call Box of Rocks, who is literally just like that. It's okay. He doesn't understand. Bull fucking shit. He totally understands. He knows what he's doing is wrong. You guys are just enabling him. And it fucking gets worse. Every fucking year. I go to a convention and I get told, oh, well, you're just being ableist. You should be more tolerant. Okay. When he is following a girl who has just told him, leave me alone, all the way to her hotel room, you've got to put a stop to it. Hello, what part of no does the little weeb not understand? Just asking for a friend. What part of no does a weeaboo not understand? Is it because he does not feel that he is... Does he feel he is entitled to having... Is it that feeling of entitlement? That he feels that he is entitled to a girlfriend even though that girlfriend does not feel the same way. I have always felt this kind of irritation when dealing with people like that. Because honestly, this is just the God's truth. This is the Lord and Lady's truth. No, you are not God's gift to women. You are a curse to women if you follow a girl to the fucking bathroom and then get told by a girl that they just see you as a friend. FYI, it is not wrong. It is just common sense. I am sorry to be the bearer of the bad news to the weeaboo boys, but what you're doing, literally, is illegal. I don't care if you are special. You are not special. You are not exempt from the rules. If you cannot handle being told no, then maybe you should think about not being in the convention, period. I am sorry to be that mean, but sometimes it's to the point where us girls have to tell a guy, we're tired of dealing with your drama. We're tired of the drama, we're tired of being told that we're overreacting if a guy is being a creep. I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, boys, but we're tired of being treated like fucking property. I know that in your viewpoint, girl anime nerds should tolerate boy anime nerds. Let me point it out to you. Just because we like anime does not mean it's okay to go out of your way and say that we, as nerds, need to tolerate your creepiness. I did not sign on to an anime fan base to be a fucking being creeped on. FYI, creepers piss me off. And if you really want to piss me off, just so you know, I do not like creepers. especially boys who can't grow out of that whole, oh goody, she likes anime, therefore she must be my girlfriend, blah 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 blah, and not realize I'm not interested. That's always what gets me with guys, is they always feel like if we like the same stuff, holy hell and high water, us girls must really think they're God's gift to women. I honestly don't understand that part. I have never understood the whole concept of being... I'm gonna buy this real fast. I literally do not understand why guys feel that they need to actually tell girls that I'm in love with you, will you date me, blah 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 blah, and then realize, holy shit, the girl's not interested in that. Yeah, it's called grow up. Be a human being. Stop acting like the girl has to date you. FYI, I've sat through that for 12 years of my life, going through high school. I sat through that in high school, sat through that in college, and we all not act like a bunch of weeaboos. Oh, FYI, I do consider weeaboo another form of pedophilia because of the connotation and the issues. And it's mostly because of how... I have not been in this dungeon in a long time, can you tell? But yeah, that's my biggest argument on the whole dating culture and the anime fandom. And sometimes I always end up with girls asking me for advice on how to handle that kind of shit. And I don't really give that good of advice, other than don't let a guy talk you into shit when they will not leave you alone about it. One of my biggest pet peeves when I was dating was when I was dating my husband, I ended up with a guy who actually ignored my husband entirely at a convention, which is my biggest no-no, because I usually would rather have my husband included in the group if he wants to be part of that. But of course, he didn't like the fact that I didn't date guys like him, because I honestly don't like people who do that, because it's kind of dumb. I mean, honestly, I don't care if a girl is interested in a guy, but if a guy treats a girl consult the map, dude. But honestly, when a guy starts acting like you're supposed to like something that they like and you're not allowed to actually have an opinion on it. I had a guy who treated me as if I was his mother, and that pissed me off on various levels. With a dancer. Nice. it's sad when you're actually one of your better players. Some people may forget that you're supposed to be looking at a game and, well, I did have one story to tell you guys, and it involves, being in a group where, yes, I support hunting, and I write of hunters to do what they do best, and that is to keep the population of animals down, because the natural hunters are no longer able to be utilized. So, I ended up with a guy who pretty much called me a weed, which to me is kind of insulting, because I am a passive fan, I'm not like a huge one. And then he decided to condescend to me. Finally, I just said, you know, I'm the kind of person that if I had to be stuck with you on a video game, I would actually leave you in the dungeon to rot because of the way he was treating me. That, and I do support hunters, and as a nature photographer, it is very detrimental to not take into account hunters do play a vital role right now in nature, and that is to keep animals from overpopulating and removing a food source for other animals. And many hunters rely on nature photographers to track some of the animals in general, because sometimes we see things that a hunter cannot see from a basic trail. We can pick up on things much faster. I don't take pictures of animals. I mostly specialize in 3D birds and other things. But again, the fact is that this individual chose to name call and act like a jackass that I had to actually block him on Facebook because, again, he utilized the fact that I am not a hunter. I am a photographer. But also that I'm a video game user. It was also over the fact that I came from a rural school where, yes, we did have we did have gun safety classes taught at my school, because guess what? We had mountain lions and other dangerous critters around, and it was a practical prospect. Unfortunately, in that prospect, it was very much a very, my parents' schedule would not have allowed us to actually take the course, because between being in GS and being in other things, many people we didn't have that time. My family did not have time to be a we didn't have time to take care of animals. We actually were stuck doing a lot of things like Girl Scouts. My school was a very poor rural school. I mean, we were the worst school district. We were the worst in our school district. And our school district was actually pretty rich. But they focused in the town of Littleton and outside of the unincorporated Jeffco area. Now, by the way, that was absolutely... Alright buddies, be ready for this one. This is one of the more complicated fights. died. Wait. Let's see how this goes. Looks like the Patriots are doing better than me. This is always a complex fight in general because of how I'm used to fighting like a mage. Oh, joy! Just put me right in the thick of it, dum-dums! Yeah, that's just pretty smart move on their part. I leveled up! Dude, I'm awesome. I am so cool. So yeah. The one thing that I've never understood with the whole culture that I was in is anime nerds generally are not that bad. I call them anime nerds. I do not use the term weeaboo. I do not use that frickin' term because honestly, even in Japan, being a nerd of anime is not considered a good thing. It is not funny to obsess over something to the point of stupidity. The other thing is, one of my friends who was into Korean, as manga and stuff, stock killing, or soccer killing, or soccer killer, whatever anime that manga was, I literally never could get into it, because one, that's not how real, romance is supposed to do things. I mean, I barely got into 50 Shades of Grey, and thought it was kind of grotesque. Then again, I have friends who are into BDSM, and, it breaks a lot of their rules, and I quite frankly think that people like that need to, get a mental breakdown here, because I literally have been into anime and sci-fi for years, and honestly, I'm now getting back into writing fantasy fiction again, but I'm also into writing, my own stuff, and one of my biggest, things I'm writing right now is a fanfiction of Star Wars. We will not go into that one because it is, for me, a sensitive topic. Because, yeah, many people don't really grasp the whole concept of fanfiction does not make it canon bullshit. And I literally, after being Sam Tomo Senshi for so many years and having stalking and the issues attached to it, let me put it this way. Vice Cruise the Night Hunters was one of my favorite fan bases. The fandom there was actually relatively friendly and nice. The Helsing fan base can go rot in hell. I do not ever want to be part of that fan base. And you guys just ruined it for me. Because I hate Helsing. I hate Helsing to the nth degree. Because people think I was into Alucard being a badass. I wanted to actually show Alucard on a paternal breath of air where he isn't. He's not. All there. Alright. Oh yeah, he splits in two, by the way. Yes, I actually knew he was going to do that. I am not a freaking... At least somebody likes me. I gotta, accommodations are really nice. So, like I said, problem with weeaboo culture, and I mean, with anime culture and weeaboo culture, it's just two different things. Back when I was a kid and getting into anime, I didn't have this issue. But when I got older, I had this issue. Back when I was a teenager, there was these kids who would, there was this one teenager, I swear, I don't think he meant anything against me, but, he was so fucking clingy that I couldn't exactly feel for sure what was wrong with him, because I thought he was just a lonely kid. My mother said otherwise, and I literally totally blew off this kid for whatever reason. I don't know. I did it because I guess being popular to me wasn't really that big a deal. But he believed that I was supposed to be his dream girl, and he got really upset when that wasn't the case, and I really didn't want to be his girlfriend or anything. And back in high school, everyone cared about popularity. I cared about just getting to fucking college. I didn't want to be stuck in... Yeah. I literally did not want to be stuck in the classroom with him. And I feel bad for being mean to him, but honestly, I really wanted to get hell out of Dodge. I just wanted to get through my life and get through school and not be caught up with the popularity crowd or the I'm just doing it because I want to be around you, blah blah blah. I mean, honestly, I like being around my friends because some of my friends were actually pretty decent, but this person was just so freaking clingy. I didn't understand why he had to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a he had to have his group of friends, and then one day I just told him I really didn't like him, and he got so upset that I didn't like him the way he wanted me to like him. And I honestly didn't know how to respond to what he wanted. I mean, he wanted a girlfriend. He didn't want a friend. He wanted a girlfriend. And when that didn't happen, it probably blew him down a little bit. I didn't really want to be his girlfriend because, honestly, he came off really creepy and cringe. I mean, cringe to the point where you just sat there hoping he understood that what he was saying and doing kind of creeped me out. Like, there was a point where I went out and he followed me around a lot and I didn't like it, and when he got told I didn't like it, he just sort of blew off what I said, and he just sort of went, well, I like her and I want her to be my girlfriend. I don't really care if it makes her uncomfortable. I just want her to know I like her and that what she's doing is not okay for me, because I think that girls should just accept me and not be so judgy. And he forgot that we're in high school, that I wasn't interested in him in the first place, and he just started acting kinda stalkerish, like a stalker. He just did not get that I'm not into that kind of lifestyle. People forget that I was pretty much in my own world back when I was in high school, and I didn't like being followed. So when I started my own social media stuff, I always wanted it just to be me and my friends. And then I started meeting people from other countries, like my friend Gavin, who lives in Malaysia, or my friend Stephanie, who lives in England. And the worst part is, these are people that had shared the same situation I was in. We all liked each other, we were all really good friends, but we were being mindlessly harassed and harangued upon because we just did not want to be part of that in crowd. And people just did not understand that we weren't into the same stuff. I mean, honestly, if I had a choice in how I handled dealing with Box of Rocks, my biggest complaint would have been I should have been a little more assertive rather than being really standoffish, because that made the problem worse. By being standoffish, I made my own problem, and that is not actually how it worked. The problem with Box of Rocks is he didn't understand that what he did and said does affect other people. And how he says it affects everybody. He thinks because he is special needs that he can get away with it. He can get away with stalking a girl. He can get away with that. He's been doing it for God knows how long. But when a bunch of girls say, hey, that's not cool, or hey, can you leave us alone? And he says, no, that's not right. I get a girlfriend. I remember on my Twitter, a girl did ask me the reason why I stopped going to conventions. And she asked me, and I said, well, I showed her a picture, and she says, oh my god, he was the one who was creeping on me. And I said, do you know his name? And she said, no, I don't know his name, so I had to give his name away. I'm not going to name drop it here, but, honestly, what he did made everybody so fucking uncomfortable that I just could not handle, being around anybody. Keith, I don't know if it was because I just couldn't handle being told I have to be. The problem in my fan base, and this is the problem in every freaking anime nerd fan group you'll ever run into, is you will find guys who do not understand what barriers are, or common sense rules. They think, oh, I'm special. I don't have to follow those rules. I'm special needs. I sat there one day and I was doing a hangout with a girl, and of course, what happens? Well, he showed up, and we had to reschedule the meetup. He expected us to be in the same meetup group, and he wanted us all to be there with him. When he got told, I'm sorry, but the meetup was canceled, we all have lives, he automatically felt as if we just stood him up, that somehow we were supposed to be on a date or something. And then I online told a group of my friends, I said, oh my god, OMG, he just showed up anyway, even though he's not invited. And of course, it backslid on me because he said that, oh my god, you guys just ditched me, what the fuck? What did I do wrong? And I said, I'm sorry, we don't want to hang out with you. And of course, that whole drama of you have to hang out with me because I'm special, or I'm special needs, you can't just up in blue cancel on me, that's not fair, that's not right, I'm special, I'm a special snowflake, type of thing. No, I don't like to use the term snowflake, I really do apologize for that one, but I do not appreciate when he shows up to a meetup and expects himself to be given. I don't expect people to give me a reason to hate on him, but I am sort of at the loss of what do I do with somebody who doesn't want to listen. Because I've been told that I made it all up, blah blah blah, all this time, and every single time I've said it, I never made up anything. What I did say is I did not appreciate having a child, a person with special needs, going, I need a mommy, constantly. That's one problem I've had is with Weeaboo Billy, or Box of Rocks, is he acts like I'm supposed to be his mother. his mommy, as I call it. And I don't approve of being a bully about it, but I really don't appreciate it when he comes to my meets and then automatically I'm supposed to be his mother. That's not how it works. That is not how any of that works. And it is so bloody obvious he does not want to understand it. I remember just telling a friend I do not want him at my meets. And she invites him anyway. Because she says I am being unreasonable and unprofessional in the way I want to handle the situation. The problem with Keith, or problem with Weeaboo Billy, is he does not, nor does he understand that what he is doing is called stalking. He does not understand it. He does not get it. But when he gets told that what he is doing is putting other people at risk, he is generally told, oh, but I'm special. Those rules don't apply to me. I'm special. Okay? I'm sorry, you're not. You're not special. I don't care about whether or not you're special needs or you need special treatment. What you're doing is wrong. What you're doing, to me, is illegal. And I honestly do not appreciate being told by a bunch of anime nerds I'm being unreasonable. I am being mean to him. When it comes down to it, what he did to me actually would have gotten people hurt. And I am still to this point telling people in the community and to anyone who follows my community what he did to me was wrong. And I am just gonna say it now. If you are a fan of anime, sci-fi, any of that, the community is awesome. The people are great. It's the way it's handled that it puts me in a lot of questionable situations. How many people literally think it is perfectly fine to follow a girl to a convention and then try to intimidate her to let them stay in her room? FYI, that's not okay. If you are a girl and you do not feel comfortable, I am not going to tell you, hey, don't let this person follow you around a hotel room, around the hotel, because, he has a reputation, a very not good reputation. So, yeah, don't let that kind of behavior help you. Why I really don't like it in communities, especially anime communities, why we have that is because people don't follow the rules. There are people who will refuse to follow rules because they think they're the special snowflake, we're the ones who follow the rules, and therefore we're the bad guys. They don't like having girls tell them, big scale, I can't see that. So, yeah, that's my vent for the whole time. Okay. Can't sell that. Maybe some raptor skin? No. sell this one. Because it's not high quality. Yeah, I guess I vented enough about it, but I honestly don't understand how anyone in an anime community can be all upset with me over rejecting somebody. Does it really freaking matter that I rejected a fucking man baby? I really don't understand that whole concept of me being ableist because, oh my god, I didn't date who-and-so. Or whoever. I mean, I really couldn't care less, considering that he acts like a man baby normally, and he gets upset over the fact that I don't want to hang out with him anymore, and he treats everybody in the fan base that I hang with like they're supposed to be his girlfriends. I mean, these are common, I can get rid of that. These are common. No. Then branch. It's kind of hard when you're trying to work on something. I'm looking for mushrooms. So when I'm making high quality food items, it kind of embarrasses me a little here we go. Alright. Ooh, there's something high quality. Yeah. So I carried this on a little longer than I expected for 2 hours. I don't know. I honestly, just wanted to get some news out and do my perspective. Honestly, my biggest news was, of course, regarding the whole thing with the fact that, as a former fan of Shannon and her work, I'm still kind of not sure how I should be handling it. I'm more or less angry, but I can't really be angry forever. I mean, that's kind of like redundant and stupid to be angry forever over it, because honestly, I just hope Emily is able to actually pick up and say, hey, this is redundant and stupid, I'm moving on. And with her video, she is done. And how she said it was perfectly well framed. If you're gonna sue her, go ahead, do so. What good is it gonna do you? None. It's not gonna give you any clarity, it's not gonna give anyone clarity, it's gonna just piss everybody off. And honestly, more than likely, Shannon's gonna lose more support by the fact that, guess what? There's a higher chance that Shannon is not going to get the support she needs. She's not going to get the support of an entire fan base backing her up. No. She's going to get just the opposite. She's going to get people who are going to be pissed at her. She's going to get people that want to help Emily, more so than help her. Her due diligence will be destroyed. Her reputation is still ruined, so I don't see the point of this going any further on Shannon's end. Honestly, I think it is dumb. I think it is stupid. So, that is my personal opinion. Anyone who asks me for it, yes. As for the Christian thing, which I'm circling it back to, guess what? When I first heard about him, I thought my friend Dirk Mez was crazy following up on that. But you see, that is the entire problem with an entire fan base. People do stupid shit, and they will use it to make no sense whatsoever to carry on doing whatever they want to do. FYI, yes, I have seen that. It is fucking stupid as hell. And it does nothing to help a situation. It just makes everybody look like fucking clowns. I shit you not, that's how I think how I see it now. It makes you look like a clown. If you want to be a good person, guess what? Shannon wrecked it for everybody. Did she wreck it for herself? Shannon wrecked a lot of things for herself, and most of it is it is very much a bad choice of words, how I see it. But you know what? I'm not her. I'm not Shannon. But I am going to say that Shannon made her. She is in her own coffin now. She put a nail in the coffin of her entire existence. Let's just say that. I am not going to be mean about it, but I am going to mention she did it to herself. Shannon did it to herself, folks. You heard it right there. Now, as for my opinion on a lot of things in our fan base, and this is just me on most scales on the issue, she did it to herself. Anyone who thinks that Shannon did it on purpose, yes, she did it on purpose. Was I ever going to say otherwise? Hell no. If she does anything stupid, yeah, I'm probably going to call it out for what it is, because it is. It's stupid. But I am also going to mention that I am not one of those people who is going to hold a fucking funeral for her reputation. I am just going to say it. You guys are not going to see me showing much sympathy to a person who wrecked somebody's life. Also, to fans of Shannon, I don't miss you guys. Not one fucking bit. To you, I am just... To me, it is done. It is over with. I can move along my life and tell the entire fan base of my entire life I do not. As for the fact that yes, my page does now, I now have a Facebook page. Yes, you may look for Electrophonic on there. You can do whatever. My second channel is up and running now, and I have been putting that off for so fucking long. And I'm just gonna say it. It feels really good to actually do stuff like this, where I can go in and do whatever I want, and not feel like I am fucking guilting myself to doing it. If you are interested in being part of the whole thing, also shout out to my friend Durkamaz, give him a try. He's actually pretty damn decent. I absolutely love him. He's one of my best friends. He has been one of my friends for years, and I honestly could not say that the fan base, that the people I've met from him has been wonderful. I absolutely love his attitude. He is positive toward anyone. He is not a negative. He is not a nega Nancy. He is just this nice, beautiful person. And I say it again, with all honesty, please give him a shot. Dirk Maz, you are a freaking god when it comes to the YouTube
So yeah, haha. I shameless plug to my friend Dirk Maz. You are fucking awesome. Have a great day. Hopefully everyone stays safe, stay cool. Don't bug yourself. Don't bug your neighbors. Hug your neighbors. Yeah, hug your neighbors. Stay safe, stay cool. Be careful out there. We still are in the middle of a pandemic, so if you're still playing video games, come and join me. I'm not gonna press my future plans with my kid, if I have one. It's still up in the air whether or not I'm gonna get pregnant or not. So we're still in that blessing stage. So hopefully, wish me luck and hope for the best.